What's going on, everybody? Follow along today as I show you how I built this bat house. I've been commissioned a piece for a customer who has had bats entering the home, so we are going to build a bat house out of a very few materials. So for the bat house today, all we have is 2 pieces of 1x6 cedar board that are 6 feet long, and we have a roll gutter gird. This is just plastic mesh that we'll be using both of the insides, stapling it on so that the bats, when they enter the place or when they land, they have somewhere to grip and to enter into the house. For sealant, we'll be using a window door and siding sealant. This is rated for exterior use, and this will seal the top and keep the house nice and dry on the inside. For fasteners, I have my drill and impact. I will probably be using wood glue at all the joints and hitting it with some brad nails for starters, and then coming back with some outdoor rated screws that won't rust.
To start this project, I'm going to start cutting the cedar boards to length at the miter saw. The overall size of this project will be about 14 inches wide by about 2 feet tall. Since the backing will be made up of 3 vertical boards, I'll be cutting the middle board to the exact width I need to get the overall 14 inches wide. Cutting the roof and the sides at the same time. Here I'm cutting a 10-degree bevel on the roof for the piece that'll mate against the backboard. I've already cut the 10-degree angle on the top of this board as well, and here I'll be cutting it to the proper width for the side. Doing a simple panel glue up, using only glue here. You definitely want to be using a glue that is water resistant and is strong enough to hold throughout the seasonal changes. Some of these boards did have a little bit of bow in them, so I did add some cauls just to keep it as straight as possible. Cleaning all the squeeze out with some water and shop towel. I began assembling the front portion first, starting from the bottom slat, applying glue, using the combo square to make sure everything runs square. And I believe I used 1.5 inch brad nails. This slot that I'm adding here is for fresh air to circulate through there. It is a 1/2 inch wide. This stops predators, other birds from entering the place. Getting to the top and marking for the 10-degree angle on the top piece and cutting it at the table saw. Also adding a bit of a blocking plate at the bottom, leaving an inch opening to allow for the bats to move in and out of the home. This also stops other predators from entering, birds, squirrels. And on the inside, I add caulking to all the joints to stop water from entering. This will also add some strength to it as well. Adding netting on the inside first. I'm just laying it flat and putting in a bunch of staples. Doing about a staple every 2 inches or so just to keep the netting flat against there in case if a bat pulls on it so it doesn't fall off or something. I place that front portion onto the backing and measure it where it'll be so that I know where I can staple more of the netting. Use a spacer on the side so I don't go overboard to where the glue will attach to the backing. Staple that and then cut it to length. Going to add the adhesive to the front portion as well, along both sides. Attach it to the proper spot and brad nail it to start. Since there's no health and safety committee at this workplace, I need to implement my own measures. I made this task a little bit more ergonomic by clamping it to my workbench for a proper height. I found that the backing had a bit of a bow to it from the boards, so I clamped my level to it to straighten it out slightly. Use more adhesive on the top and against the angle cut on the top plate. This will stop the water from penetrating inside. Attaching the top with brad nails, hold it in place. Wipe the axis off with shop cloth and water. Then I began adding some fasteners. Pre-drill and drill with 1¼ inch screws. For the top plate, I added some tape to get a clean caulking line. I added a good caulking line on top here because this is where the rain will be making contact all the time. It's a very simple project. Any woodworker or a hobbyist who likes tinkering around could build this by themselves. There's readily available plans just by Googling bat house. And that concludes this short project. Hope you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing and go build something in the shop.